Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the new Tinkaton in the Open Great League. I want to give this Pokemon a try before the Great League is back, which is going to be the case in like 7 hours for most likely when you watch this one. And so yeah, today we're going to take a look at some test battles here. Thanks so much for giving me some battles here as well. Like people from Twitter were battling me here. If you want to also battle me, just follow me on there. That would help me out as well to get those battles done a bit faster. But yeah, we had like a lot of fun here with a lot of cool battles. The people didn't know what I was running. Of course, they could maybe assume that I was running Tinkaton. Could be the case, but today we're going to have a team here that should work out really well if you want to try the basically Tinkaton out yourself. This is the team that I would recommend you to run. It is a team that also worked out in theory here and as well as in practice. I had great success with this team. So let's go over the team. We're going to have here Hex version of Drifblim, and this is the first Pokemon I want to talk about because it is absolutely insane. I did not know that Hex Drifblim is so strong. Like, yeah, of course, Hex got buffed this season, and before basically Astonish was always like kind of the preferred fast move here. I think I should have got the Orca Tail off. Like, I think I should have got the Orca Tail off there in time, but I think I kind of lagged or something like this. I don't know. But yeah, we have to kind of play around in the first battle here. But yeah, Hex Drifblim, absolutely insane. Like, I like this way more than Astonish, way more, because you have so much more pressure. Anyway, we're gonna of course have Tinkaton here in the back, which against Morpeko is going to be able to take some resisted damage from the second Aura Wheel. That's why we shield the first one. And I expect that the opponent gonna try to catch the move here, and so I swap out at the same time as the opponent tries to swap out. That actually would have been fine just staying in and going for the Aura Wheel and just knock me out. They would have won the battle with that one. But like this, we are going to be able to actually go for the full farm down here. I think we barely survived the Aerial Ace with a 1 HP, and we have 2 Icy Wind stored here. We're gonna be able to go for one. The one needed to go for a charge move, but then they would have lost against my other Pokemon. So we can still win the first battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. So, what do we want to do here against Wigglytuff? Of course, we're going to swap out into our Sasop, which is going to be the Drapion. And I really wanted to give a try to the Drapion plus Tinkaton backline, because, like, basically, Drapion is the best Pokemon to bait out potential ground-type Pokemon while still being able to punish them thanks to the charge move of Aqua Tail. And that's exactly why I kind of want to give this one a try, as Tinkaton has 2 weaknesses, really. I guess most likely a few more, but like the 2 that I'm kind of thinking about, I think it's only 2. It's going to be Ground and Fire, and Ground is going to be able to be baited out by this one, and Fire is going to be, okay, maybe not baited out because you don't have the best answer for a Fire-type Pokemon lead, I admit this, but it's still a solid answer for that. But basically, you're going to be able to bait out the Pokemon that you don't want to face as a Tinkaton, but still being able to punish them because both Ground as well as Fire are both weak to the Aqua Tail. So, let's focus on the battle here real quick, because we're going to have Tinkaton against the rest of the team. All 3 Pokemon still alive, only now it's going to be, just 2 Pokemon alive, and we're still going to have Hammer Time going on here. First one-shot we already saw here, we decided not going to be able to one-shot the Wigglytuff, but we're going to be able to KO them anyway. And so it's 2 down, 1 to go for the Tinkaton, and as they're going to have the Pidgey out, we're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and we sweep an entire team with this Pokemon. So, in the third battle, we're going to encounter a great lead. They swap onto the Lapras, and honestly, I didn't really think too much about the team before I started. I should maybe thought a bit more about the matchups and what I want to do when. Here I should maybe either swapped out straight into the Drapion or into the Tinkaton, because both of them are going to be able to resist the fast move. None of them can actually take here the Sparkling Area. Like, I would be able to survive one. I should most likely let one go through here. I do let one go through, which is cool. But here I went for the Aqua Tail then. I knew that I would have not been able to fully farm them down, so I don't know why I did what I did here. That is very silly and can be very problematic depending on what they're going to have now in the back. But as you will see here, we're going to be able to go for a Crunch, still get them low, and we can still go for an Aqua Tail against the Claydol, which they surprisingly let go through, and now we can swap out into our Drifblim, and while they're going to have in the back here the Talonflame, I can go for one fast move, go for the charge move here. This is perfect timing because I needed 1 turn to swap out, 3 turns for the Icy Wind, and this is basically always a 1 turn behind where the Incinerate would have been. For fast move timing, it's always kind of, you want to be 1 turn less than what the opponent currently is. So if the opponent goes for 2 Incinerate, you kind of want to go for 3 Hex here, because you end up at 9 turns, and then go for the charge move. That's the perfect ideal timing. Anyway, we're going to see here that the opponent is going to be at -3 attack, I think, at this point. And even with their Flame Charge, which they do have, it doesn't do damage. Like, look how little damage it does. You try to catch the move, it didn't work out, but they still swap out into the Lapras, which actually allows us to get more energy. And with this, we're going to be able to win yet another battle with our Tinkaton, and especially here in this case, the Drifblim. And here we're gonna take a look at a bit of spice, of course. Yeah, this team is not designed to deal with Shadow Heatran in the Open Great League. I know that is shocking information. Every team should be prepared. Okay, I'm joking here, of course. But in this case, we're gonna see suddenly the swap out here into the Galissapod, where I tried to go for the bait anyway. They catch it onto a Pokemon where a Shadow Ball would have done a ton of damage, so I wish I went for the Shadow Ball instead. But at least I can still put them into a range where I can go for the Crunch, and I still should be able to go for 2 Awkward Tails against the Heatran here, but they would be able to fully farm us down. So it's a bit of an annoying thing here, because they're gonna get that much energy, but we're gonna be able to go for another Awkward Tail afterwards anyway, which is going to be great for us. They're gonna decide to go for the Shield, I can go for another Awkward Tail, they're definitely gonna go for another Shield here, and they have another move stored now as well, which is a bit annoying, but at least now we are going to have the opportunity to go for a Shadow Ball, right? Wrong, because they're gonna go into the Dragonite. So if I actually let my Pokemon go down there, if I let my Drapion go down instead of leaving it there with 1 HP, I would have been able to align myself perfectly, having the Dragonite against our Fairy and Steel-type Pokemon, and having the Heatran against our Flyer, which is okay here, but like it's not the best matchup either. But I would have been able to get out of the matchup with the Dragonite with the charge move stored. So mistakes been made here. Of course, fun team from the opponent, good game there. We always have like kind of our battle there, so shouts to you, always appreciate battling you. But yeah, I could have played a bit better, but that is of course with the knowledge that they had a Dragonite in the back, which I didn't have at the time. And here, I'm gonna go for a ballsy play, but I'm gonna let the move go through here. I only realized afterwards, this could have been a Shadow Ball, and a Shadow Ball would have knocked us out. So yeah, it makes sense for the opponent to go for the Rock Tomb here. As a bait, thinking that, oh, he most likely gonna use a shield for the potential of a Shadow Ball. I use a shield on the second one here, and I have to undercharge now because I know they're gonna be energy dry. At least gonna get one fast move in there, but like, that was not down to me actually predicting the opponent or being like, yeah, I really know that they're gonna go for the bait here. No, was just lucky. I was thinking, he's Dark type fast move. I completely forgot about the moveset of this Pokemon, and so yeah, sorry. It's not a Sableye, it doesn't have Foul Play. So that was not the ideal way of playing it, but at the end of the day, it worked. And so, we're gonna be able to go back into our Drifblim here, get a ton of damage here. They swap out into the Gustlord, that's what I expected, that's why I swapped out into my Drifblim, because I was expecting the Gustlord based on the behavior from the opponent. This was actually something I predicted, which is kind of funny. I hope that we can still survive a move here. It is super effective, but we're they're debuffed, but sadly we don't survive. But what we can do is, we can still go for Heavy Slam. This is not going to be enough to knock them out, but we don't need to knock them out. We just need to get them into a range where we can Poison Sting them down, and thanks to the Fire and damage of Tinkaton, we're definitely going to put the opponent into that position, as they're going to be able to go into our Drapion now, get the full farm done, and I expect the opponent swapping out here now, so I'm going to wait out and try to go for the charge move as soon as I see them swap out. And you never saw them swap out. If you take a look at the top right corner there before, if you want to scroll back as well, the typing never changed until the opponent was already locked in the charge move. That's not how it's supposed to happen. You should be able to see the swap, it's a turn, and the typing changes. It did never change, but at least we still won. But yeah, that could have been a bit problematic if it was like an important battle, or like something that was really like, I don't know, depending if you're gonna win or not. So yeah, that is a bit annoying, but let's move on to the next opponent. So, AC Wind Spam against the opponent's Talonflame. Let's see on how this is gonna go. This is gonna be kind of the matchup that we kind of want to go for, but honestly, again, Drifblim's pacing is ridiculous. Like, this Pokemon gets to the charge moves so insanely fast, and still does good fast move pressure. Like, look at the opponent's fast move pressure. Like, we still, of course, took a little bit more, but it's still great what Drifblim can do. You can go for another Icy Wind here, debuff them, put them into a range where 1 Awkward Tail is enough, put us into a range where 2 Awkward Tails are not even close to being enough to knock us out. And with that, I'm gonna not go for the Awkward Tail there because I was fearing a CMP time. I'm gonna try to get some extra energy for whatever matchup they're going to have in the back, hoping that we're gonna be fine here with the Pokemon that they have, because the Awkward Tail is needed for the Talonflame, and I don't know what they have in the back. It's going to be, sadly, the worst possible Pokemon, which is gonna be Gastrodon. This is the Pokemon we want to bait out as a Drapion. Didn't work out for me. So, what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna go into my Drifblim, I'm gonna hope that they swap out. They swap out and we can go for the Ice Event. Luckily, because I had to swap, they needed one extra turn, which allows us to get this Ice Event off. Otherwise, we would have not been able to do that. And I'm gonna try to catch a move. Hope they knock us out, and then I should still be able to go for an Ice Event. But I do think they maybe undercharged this, because this was absolutely perfect. So I couldn't get to the charge move, and they get the 3 fast moves in to go for 1 Body Slam now. Well done, well played. Couldn't win this at this point anymore, but yeah, well done there. Of course, Gaston in the back. Kind of unfortunate for us. The one Pokemon that I didn't want to see, but yeah, well played there. So, Cordilli. I do think that's going to be a favorable matchup for us, especially in the 2-shield scenario, as both of us going to debuff each other, but I have super effective damage. They also have super effective damage, but I outspeed them. I always outspeed them, so they're always going to be like, I think the first time where they can hit me if we go for a 2-shield scenario is going to be at -3 attack. They're not going to knock me out with that. They just don't. Also, my fast move does damage, their fast move doesn't do damage. It's Bolt Seed against the flying type Pokemon. Yeah, of course, now against the poison type. But before against the flying type Pokemon, that's debuffed. It's not going to do anything. So I think it would be a favorable matchup for us. But also, what's another favorable matchup is going to be the Sableye for us here with our Tinkaton. There were a lot of times where I went for Crunch and didn't get a debuff. A debuff would have been lovely here because I think I could have maybe fully farmed them down here, but it doesn't really matter. I can go for the Heavy Slam now. This is going to be enough to get the KO against the opponent. And let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be the Cordilli again, and I let the move go through. Was it the right call? At this point I was like, do they have the Gastol in the back? Did I need my Tinkaton to be super healthy? Let's find out together. It is going to be a Dusclops. And I kid you not, I just like Drifblim with Hex so much. Like, look at this. They call the bait, all good. I can go for a shield now. I know, they're very likely gonna go for a super effective move. They always have super effective coverage against Drifblim. It's either Ice Punch or Shadow Punch or Poltergeist. But you can go for another Ice Event. On the CMP tie, dropping the opponent's attack already by 2 stages, which means they basically don't do damage. They don't even do enough damage to knock us out here. And guess what? I can still even reach another Ice Event in time before they can do anything here to just KO them. And again, Drifblim just showcasing on why this Pokemon is so strong. And we're gonna move on into the final battle. Against Melma, you want to go for 3 fast moves on swap out, because after, yeah, basically 3 fast moves plus 1 turn, they're gonna get to a foul play, and we want to catch it onto our Dark type. And they're gonna retaliate here with their Weezing, which I'm honestly totally okay with. Our entire team actually can deal with Weezing, which is kind of funny. A lot of times Weezing is like a core breaker for teams, not for this one. Weezing doesn't really have any play at all here. Sludge, have fun with that one. Awkward here comes through, gonna force the shield from the opponent. I'm not gonna play this one out because they would be able to align themselves in the 2 shields, so for me there's no point of shielding here anything. And now it depends. Do they have Brutal Swing? Do they have Sludge? That is going to be the question here. No, Sludge we already saw. If they have Brutal Swing or if they have Overheat is what I wanted to say here. They have Brutal Swing, which makes it a little bit more awkward. I could have swapped out here as well, but I didn't really want to. I have Icy Wind coming through. It's going to get the KO anyway, and they're going to swap out in what? Oh, into the Melma. Here you go, Shadow Ball comes through. They went for 3 fast moves, basically 4 fast moves. And we can go for the full farm in time. Now they have 1 Pokemon left in the back, which is a Diggersby. Yeah, Drifblim is the hardest answer to Diggersby, kinda. Double resisting the fast move and the main charge move. Fire Punch is the only thing they can go for. I have a shield still, and I can debuff them literally the entire time here. Like, the pacing is ridiculous of Drifblim. Like, it's more of a Drifblim showcase here today than Tinkaton, I feel like. Just because this Pokemon is so good. Like, what is going on with Drifblim? It would be like kind of the Pokemon that I would want to run in tournaments or whatever right now as well, because it seems like such a strong pick. With the Hex as just energy generation, it's just so cool. But as you see here, Tinkaton is coming now in against the opponent's Diggersby. Let's see how much a -3 Scorching Sand's gonna do. It doesn't even come close to doing half, and with that, this is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Again, I made a video yesterday about the top teams, which you're gonna see now on the screen, and I will see you then. Bye bye.